In my session, I'm going to share how VR immersive rooms are the next breakthrough for companies and universities. I'm mainly focusing my attention in collaboration and remote working, and also in education. Okay, the same kind of issue, collaboration in terms of education and remote education as well. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm David Moreno Canta. I'm the head of marketing and business development of Virtual World. Later on, I will show you more information about the company. I'm also the co-chair in the enterprise committee in the VR AR Association, a very important association in regards of immersive technology based in the US. I'm a member of the advisory board of EXA Bootcamp at EXA Upskilling company, and I'm also associate professor in the ISIC Economy Digital Institute, a very important business and marketing school here in Spain and in Europe. So all this said, early this year, we launched a campaign which was called VR is Now, because we truly believe that this year, even before the pandemic, we thought that VR is the technology that it's enough mature today to be part of companies, and nowadays with this pandemic situation, part of our lives. So I'm going to show you the teaser of the video on the campaign first. Do you hear the sound?
The future is exciting. Spatial computing will affect every discipline and every aspect of our lives. The way we relate with others will change. The way we interact will not be the same. The objects around us will think for us, make decisions for us, and will anticipate all our actions and wishes. The future is exciting. But what about the present? Who will solve the problems that concern us today? You will, with us, together. VR is now.
And this is a great presentation, because today I'm going to talk about mainly a solution focused on VR. So who we are as a company, we are a pioneering VR company. The company was established almost 16 years ago here in Spain. We are based in the Basque Country, in the north of Spain, although we have delegations in North America, in Toronto and Mexico as well. We are almost 60 people worldwide. We love what we do. Some of them, we've been a long time in the industry trying to implement VR, AR, and mixed reality solutions in the enterprise and also in the educational sector, and in working closely with governments. Today, in this session, these are the three topics I'm going to talk to you about. One is, I'm going to introduce to you our virtual world immersive room. Then 2 success stories about how GE Hitachi Nuclear Energy is implementing virtual reality immersive rooms for training. And on the other side, how an important university here in Spain, Deusto University, is implementing virtual reality immersive rooms for education purposes as well. So first of all, I'm going to show you a brief video so you initially understand what is our virtual immersive room concept. Well, that's going to be after this, because I guess I want to talk how we see the future, in work of education. Right now, there are everybody talking about virtual. We truly believe that this is going to be a mix between physical and virtual stuff. Okay, before the pandemic, almost was like physical, and some companies, institutions, they were thinking about coming virtual, and now, maybe you can think everything is going to come virtual. From our perspective, we truly believe that it's going to be a mix, between each other. So, for instance, if you need, to design, for instance, something, maybe you can do it at home. You don't need to go to any physical space. But if you want to review the design and having, for instance, a 1:1 scale of your design, you can go to a physical space and you can collaborate remotely, virtually, with other people that could be in other locations. So for important processes that it's needed to be in physical location, you will still go to that physical location. That is what we truly believe the future of work and education is going to be in the following years. So as you've seen, it's multiple people in one physical location in a virtual reality environment where they can collaborate. Okay, that's the concept in a free roam way. I mean, you have the power, you can move freely, and you can interact freely by your own. This was important for us last year because we launched our video immersion room early last year, although we've been working like 3 years on this. And well, the same year, we were the winners of the VR Enterprise Solution of the Year in the VR Awards. I mentioned that I'm part of the VR Association. Well, this is another immersive association which is based in the UK, and they are the one who hold the VR Awards. So over 70 judges just decided that our virtual immersion room concept was the next breakthrough in enterprise VR, something to be proud of. So what you can do with View, well, it transforms any physical location into a full immersion center. I mean, you can have your own space. You don't need to change it, okay? Just only some kind of things we need to do in regards of the tracking system on the ceiling panels that you can see in the image, but almost any, or let's say any space can be converted or transformed in a full immersion center. You can, when you are not using that for virtual reality purposes, for engineering design, training, educational purposes, or whatever, you can keep it using with your common tables, chairs, computers, and then when you want to, you be in the virtual reality environment, you move them outside, you configure it, the arena, and then you are in a collaborative way. This is important. It takes short time to assemble. Okay, how long it takes to install one immersion room. Short time to assemble. For instance, right now, I'm going to show you a video of an installation we did, a portable installation we did for an event, in this case for General Hitachi, was showcasing the new product with our virtual reality immersion room. And with that, you will see that any space can be transformed in a virtual reality environment. It took just 6 hours to install that immersion room in that location. So the immersion room has two main elements. On one side, well, the hardware part. I mentioned that we started 3 years ago developing our own sorry, now here in the video, our own tracking system, which is called Immersion. With that tracking system, we have no limitations in terms of space and in terms of users. I mean, it's based on that ceiling panels that you can see in the image and the trackers that you have on top of your head. And then we combine that with different HMDs. We have that integrated with Oculus Rift S, with HP Reverb, and with HTC, the first version. Now we're going to do the same with the second version that was launched just 2 weeks ago, and HTC Focus. Then we combine that with Leap Motion for hand tracking, although we know that in the future, actually right now there are some headset that has tracking, that hand tracking inside. And finally, backpacks. We are HP business partners, and we are part of the HP VR ESV program, so we use HP backpack. So with that, you have the power, and you can move freely from inside the room. And on the other part, the software platform. On one side, to manage the room. I mean, install all the applications in the backpacks, know how the batteries are, configure users, all that kind of stuff. And on the other side, for content management, create content and deploy content. The third point is important because this is suitable for professionals of all levels. I mean, you don't need to have any kind of advanced technical skills. With basic skills, you will be able to manage the room and even to create your own collaborative content. And for that, well, the video software platform, it's based on Unity, one of the main, or let's say the main VR engine or 3D engines for the enterprise, although you have the possibility, that's another possibility with an Unreal, that's the other engine, but we are working right now with Unity. So if you want to create content, you access the video software platform. That is loaded with different easy models, so you can add different models of things you want to do. And with that, as you are able to generate your own content in 1:1 scale and free roam way, you are not locked to any provider. I mean, you are not locked to Virtualware in this case. We give you the tool. You are not locked to any kind of supplier. So if your suppliers are working with Unity, you will be able to create content for the room in a collaborative way. So that's great as well. Finally, in short, about the immersive room concept, it's affordable in regards, for instance, of the tracking technology. Our tracking technology is like 2 to 3 times less expensive than any similar tracking technology in the market. It's easy to set up and maintain, as you've seen in the video. Scalable, it's boundless. With our tracking technology, you don't have any kind of limitations in terms of space, methodology, or users. You can start with 150 square meters, and then you can move to the limitless. As you see in the video, it's mobile. You can move. This is very important. It's free roam and true multi-user. For instance, if you compare this with another kind of similar, let's say, system that could be caves. In caves, you are not. It's not free roam because there is only one guy guiding. Okay, and if you move to your right or to your left, you're not going to see anything. Okay, and it's true multi-user because you can move freely. Okay, and you can interact by your own. And these two things are really important. This is focused for 1:1 scale visualization and interaction. That combination between physical and virtual, you will need in the different sectors. They have like physical mock-ups to review the design. You can do that digitally in your physical space, and it's ready for remote collaboration. That's one of the topics of today's sessions. You will be able to connect different virtual immersive rooms from different locations and connect them, those people there, in the same virtual reality environment for engineering purposes, marketing purposes, educational purposes, or training purposes. And it's really important that you can generate and launch your own content. So let's move forward, because we have constrained time. Important thing, how you can apply this if you are an engineer. But for instance, you will stop wasting time and money in physical replicas. You will be able to have unlimited digital replicas where you can have people or designers or your team connected in the same virtual reality space from different locations. So with that, you will be able to speed up understanding mainly of complex designs or the dimensions of the designs. That's the importance of the 1:1 scale. And you will be able to accelerate timelines. So I'm not going to show you a video, but with Vero, you will be able to take any kind of 3D, asset, any CAD file from your 3D authoring tool and deploy it in the virtual reality immersive room by your own using the Vero software platform. So for trainers, it's more or less the same concept. For instance, later on, I will talk to you more with Hitachi, but the problem they had was that they need to bring all the people to one location because there is where they have the physical replica. So with the virtual reality immersive room, you can have unlimited detailed replicas, and what they are doing with that is bringing training close to the people. So they're going to put 10 immersive rooms in different locations. So for instance, if we have another lockdown or we have another kind of pandemic that will come in the future, this is just the starting, you will be able to at least move inside your country. And if you have an immersive room in your country, you will be able to be trained. And this is really important. The third point, it's with virtual reality and with our immersive room, you could bring training as close to reality as is possible in that virtual reality environment in a safe and controlled environment. For marketers, the wow effect, you will be able to engage your audience like never before, just showcases in one scale your products to your customers. And even if a customer come to your headquarters, for instance, you will be able to have your customer, your design team, and other people from other locations in the same virtual reality space showcasing that product, why you made these decisions to your customers, and that will shorten the sales cycle because you will be showing in a quite innovative way what they are going to get, your customers are going to get, and very personalized. You will be able to even change things on the spot, so your customer could say, that is what I want. And moving to educational sector, for teachers, bring out the best in your students. With the concept that learning by doing, they will be able to experience in virtual reality, different, let's say, topics you would like them to learn in a collaborative way. And even you would be able to connect, that virtual classroom with other virtual classrooms in other locations. And we know that these technologies and these solutions raises student motivations. So that's really, really important for them. So they will be able to better, you will be able to better transfer your knowledge, and, you will create unforgettable learning experiences. For students, be ready to rule the world. These are the tools that companies are implementing in the day-to-day basis. So you will learn how to use a tool, so you will be able to work with that tool in the future. You will know that, okay? And in terms of benefits, well, this will speed up learning acquisition and increase level of lifelong retention with that learning by doing concept. Really important is skills, thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. They will be able to do whatever they want to in a collaborative way in that virtual reality space. And as I mentioned before, they will be ready for ruling the world, because these are the tools that enterprises and companies are starting to use in a day-to-day basis. And finally, for educational institutions, just create the future world's top leaders. Two important things, reduce the gap between university and industry. You will be able to do that because you will teach your students the tools they are going to use in the enterprise. That's on one side. And two, you will boost enrollment. I mean, that's key for you. And now with these situations that, most of the universities and educational institutions are teaching the students remotely, well, you will be able to do so in a different way, and you will have an innovative thing. So people and students will like to enroll to your university instead to enroll to the other, because you are giving them value. Two use cases very, very quickly. So I will leave, 5 minutes for any kind of questions if you have them. Itachi, it's using virtual reality immersive room to save time and money and generate money as well in a collaborative way. This is a picture of how they move fuel in a nuclear plant. So this was the first simulator we developed for them, was a fuel movement simulator, which was the situation. On one side, a high investment on physical replica. They only have one physical replica for nuclear reactor. If they think about creating or building another one, it's like million of US dollars. And then the time you need to wait until it's built. On the other side, the high cost, operational cost of bringing all the people, all the workforce to one location in the US to be trained. It's like $3 million per year. And then this is key for them. Limited training session, just 24/7, but that's the limitation. So they have a problem because they are not able to train as they want to all the workforce and even the customers, and they also manufacture different assets. And this is let's say a training program that they need to be in a collaborative way and with highly skilled people. So which was the approach? Well, to replace physical replicas with virtual reality immersive rooms. So as I mentioned before, they're going to bring training closer to the people, different immersive rooms in different locations. So as I mentioned before, if this happens again, what we are suffering right now, they will be able to train the people. And actually, they are able to connect people from different locations in the same virtual reality environment, although they are in different virtual reality immersive rooms. And this is actually two images, the real stuff and the virtual stuff. Here, actually, with our tracking system, we were able to connect. As you're seeing that, this is a physical replica of the same kind of tool they use for full movement, this mast, and we connect that in the virtual reality stuff. So when you are touching the virtual reality machine, you're also touching and interacting with the real one. And this is, well, in our immersive room, the first test they did, well, the real one and the virtual one. So the results were almost 60% reduction in operational expenses. Although they are investing in 10 virtual reality immersive rooms, they are reducing the investment in operational expenses. In almost in the second year, that's the investment breaks even. And the third point, it's really important, they are generating $4 million per year because they will be able to have more time to train their workforce and mainly to train their customers. So they will be able to charge them for that. So they are expecting to generate 4 million euros per year. But this is a video. At the end of the presentation, I will share with Mohamed my presentation, so he will be able to share it with you as well. And finally, what Deusto University is doing with virtual reality immersive rooms to prepare the students for the real world. Actually, that's a picture of the virtual immersive room installation. Well, on one side, well, the situation, the lack of a program associated with immersive tech. They know and they knew that there were, great student interest in immersive technology. We all know that. There were different universities that were starting to introduce, extra, let's say, programs, degrees, extra technologies, extra labs in the institution. So they are getting enrollment for students who are really motivated of using that technology or learning more about that. And the third part, they need to innovate, because if not, they were going to be left behind. This is the approach. This is the immersive lab we created with them, with the idea of increasing the enrollment. They were going to use this for our technical careers as well, not only for that extra degrees. They are about to launch this September. With that, they have their own facility to experience XR and VR technologies in the educational sector, and that's why they will be able to conduct different researches on how immersive technologies can improve education. And finally, the results, they are going to lead the way in educational innovation. On one side, well, they did the first Lego League in Deusto University. Actually, that's a picture of a young kid using that virtual reality immersive room. So they have increased the engagement, 400 students. Now for them, it's an essential tool for engineering students, so they can review their designs using that virtual reality immersive room. So that's great for them. And now they can lead, and they are actually leading some European research projects about the power of immersive technologies for education. Just a quick video. Okay, and that's all from my side. So as here is written, the future of work and education is happening right now. This pandemic has accelerated that a lot, and now it's your turn to be, the leader of the pack. They have my details, so you can reach out to me whenever you want to. And don't know, Mohamed, if we have any question, or any kind of questions that I may answer.
Let let me check if someone will. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah. Let me. If someone wants to ask a question to David, I can unmute this person. Who wants to ask a question to David? I'm not very. Just 1 minute, David.
Yeah, don't worry.
So I have one. How much cost? How much start your cost at VirtualWare for a room, for a virtual room?
Depending on
the smallest, I mean.
Yeah, no, but I have no issue on this because I would like to share this information as well. Because maybe you are thinking about this can cost millions of of euros. For instance, if you are thinking about having 100 square meters, more or less, it can be from 100K and 4 users. For instance, 100 square meters and 4 users. For instance, you can have from 100K, more or less 150K for the hardware part, and then that's a licensing fee for the software part. So that's why we say it's not expensive. Okay, you can see here the value on the Immersion room. You don't only have the hardware part. Okay, you have the software part, and for us, we truly believe that the brain of this concept is the software platform. Okay, we are giving a tool that allows you the limitless right now. Okay, you can have, you don't have any kind of limitation on space and number of users. You can have 20 users if they fit in that virtual, in that physical, let's say, environment. But you can create your own content. And for instance, for companies and universities, mainly, for teachers in university, that if they have the possibility to create their own content, they will use this, because in the past, for instance, in education, at the same time happened when, these digital blackboards and iPads and PCs and laptops entered the educational sector. We worked with some of them, and some of them weren't using them because they didn't have the tools to create content. So that's really important for the enterprises as well, because you can have your own team, so you can, reduce the cost of creating content. For instance, reduce, the timelines to create that content, and you will be able to create everything by your own. So, and actually you can work with all the providers. Okay, I need a basic, let's say, training field, but maybe I'm not going to work with, the most important company right now. But if you want a complex one that you need a great expertise, well, maybe you work with companies like us or the kind of companies, but that's on you as a company, as an educational institution as well.
Okay, but just a very specific question. The cost will raise if, for example, you have to build something in Africa?
No, it's just the installation. This is an average price, but it depends if the installation is in Europe, in the US or Latin in Africa, just increases the implementation. Just the services associated to send all the equipment there and then install it with my teammates going there to install.
Okay.
And it would be really great to come back again. I went to South Africa with my wife 2 years ago, and it was, amazing, amazing country. It blew my mind totally.
Wow.